So I'm just sitting here having dinner, watching the sunset, 7 o'clock on September 17th, 2019. And going through these list of videos. And I want to talk about my mother. So my mom was 17 when she got pregnant with me. She was 18 when she had me. She was an uneducated woman. She only had a junior high school education, and I was too much for her. You know, I'm a superhuman. Super smart, super strong, super talented, brave, confident, and she didn't know how to handle me. So she turned to physical violence. She beat me. She beat me, and from the time that I was between 3 and 7, there was many times when I thought she would kill me. This was very damaging, because when the person that you're supposed to trust the most in your life, you fear from the most, that could kill you, that's damaging. That's damaging to your psyche, and that messed with me. So, that was tough. My mom has always been very abusive to me. I hated her, and I've never felt love for her. I remember one time she used to dress me up, because I was a beautiful child. She used to dress me up and show me off like, this came out of me. And I remember one time we were at a Christmas party and she was all drunk, and she's like, "Oh, I love you so much." And I just remember thinking, I hate you so much, and she beat me so much. She would hit me without any provocation. She was just like backhand me, and I never hit her back. I was bigger than her and stronger than her from probably age 10. And I never raised a hand to her. I never disrespected her. I never cussed her out. I always just took it. And I've never in my life disrespected her. I never called her on it until recently. I just sent her a letter saying that I used to fear that she would kill me, and she told me that she doesn't want to talk to me anymore. When my dad died, I was 22. I built the fence in the front yard so that I had big dogs, and I left the dogs with her, and I built the fence in the front yard so that the dogs could go all around the house, and she felt safer. And I left to come and live in Yosemite. And she left. She got with some guy, and she left and sold the house that we grew up in. And like, she left for a weekend with this guy and never came back, and then was like, "Oh, we sold the house. I sold the house. If you want something, go get it, because they're just going to demolish it." And so, like, I'm living in Yosemite, so I go back. I have a van at this point. And the guy she's living with, she rented it to his brother. And he's like, "Woohoo, anything that's here, I get to keep." And so I get there, and he's, like, cleaning out the place, like, pictures of us, stuff that I didn't have room to take to Yosemite. trophies, you know. He's just taking them. Like, you know, no one wants this stuff. And that was really traumatic. You know, we had a really big house with a swimming pool, and, you know, we grew up in that house, and it was so traumatic. My mom just left like she don't care, you know. It's like, man, that was so traumatic that she did that to us, you know. So, again, she traumatized me. And then now, so she inherited her brother's estate. She inherited my grandmother's estate, her mom's. She inherited my dad's estate. So my mom's very wealthy. And here I am with this tree fell in my house. And she has my grandmother's house. And she's got a lot of money. And she's got my second cousin living in my grandmother's house. And here's one thing no one knows. My grandmother adored me. I was her prince. And I grew up in my grandmother's house, and my grandmother would have did anything for me. And she's got my second cousin living in that house. And my mom doesn't need that house. She could sell that house. It's worth $500,000, and she could help me out. But my cousin lives in it, and my mom doesn't need that money. My mom's holding on that house for no reason. It's ridiculous, and my mom won't help me out. It's really painful, you know. It's like, you know, once again, my mom is traumatizing me. You know, it's like, I don't know why I was cursed with a mother who just traumatized me over and over and over again my whole life. And she's so healthy, she's probably going to outlive me. It's awful. And, you know, my daughter tried to talk to her, and she's like, oh, I don't want to hear from Irene. You know, and it's like me and my daughter are creatures of love and light, and she doesn't want to hear from me or my daughter. She won't help me. And she has the means to without it even affecting her at all. Instead, she's helping my second cousin, who's a bachelor, doesn't have any kids. You know, he wasn't part of the family. You know, doesn't have any descendants. I gave her 2 grandkids. Never disrespected her. Went and visited her several times. My cousin's never been to visit her. She's never been to visit my cousin. But my cousin's a good boy, and he takes good care of the house. So she takes care of him. She lets him live in the house, my grandmother's house. It's really fucked up, man. You know what? I hate my mom. I do. She traumatized me. She abused me. You know what? I got a raw deal with the mother. I really did. But you know what? It made me who I am. It made me who I am, but I'll tell you what, I got a crappy ass mom. I did. So, Celia Vasquez, you're the worst mom anyone could have.